You know who my next guest is. It is Ras Hylton, and he has a short notice fight, this time for Bellator, and he will make his Bellator debut this Friday at the Mohegan Sun against Rudy Schaffroth. Ras, how are you, my friend?
Little bit of a whirlwind experience already, and we've barely just begun. But yeah, I'm good. I mean, I'm already at the Mohegan Sun. There's at the hotel room, lounge area. Oh, I might have to go check out that fire pit later. But yeah, I'm already down here. Just got the call yesterday morning. Big shout out to Billy Vigil down at Ammo because what was it, like 5:45, 7 in the morning yesterday, I get a text, and from there it just snowballed. And all day at work, I'm somewhere in between putting deliveries together and on my phone. My wife has now officially entered the rank of most experienced and efficient manager, because if it wasn't for her and the care she takes with my medical records and getting everything to the folks here at Bellator, I would not have been able to do this. So once again, wifeager, you ain't got a good one, get one.
Well, let's start from the beginning. First of all, so Rudy was supposed to fight Steve Mowry, and Mowry, unfortunately for him, tested positive for COVID-19. So here we are. Now you're stepping in for him, and you're facing Rudy, who, a very difficult matchup. I mean, this guy's 6-1. It's going to be a tough test. We'll get to that in a little bit. But when you found out you had this opportunity, did you even think about saying no, or are you just going to jump in regardless of who it is, and fight here for Bellator, which is the second biggest promotion in the world?
I tried to have a little bit of caution, but I think that may have stayed in my head for half a second. As soon as I got off the phone with Bill, I was calling my wife and saying, hey, don't be mad. I haven't said yes yet, but I'm going to. I just need you to not freak out. And it went from there. I called my coach, John Raio. We got Sheehan Andy and Chris on the chat. We got everybody together within the hour, and we were already getting things going, getting my files pulled, and we were in contact with the folks down here at Bellator to, I think 3 or 4 of them, trying to get everything where it needed to be. And yeah, here we are 24 hours later, and I'm already in CT.
Now, there's another wrinkle to this story, Ras, because you were supposed to be flying and accompanying Chris Sarro for his BKFC fight in Mississippi as well this weekend. So tell me how that played into your decision, and what Chris said when you told him this opportunity that you have.
Well, fortunately, like you said, Chris is going down to BKFC 11, and I am still rooting for my brother 100%. I unfortunately couldn't get a hold of him right away, but that was the second call that I made was, hey, listen, I hate to give you the bad news. I know you'll understand, but I still feel like a punk. So here's what's going on. I got the call, and I need to. Fortunately, he's a great guy. We've been chatting over the course of the morning while he's up in the air, and rolling around the hotel room. So, fortunately, Chris is just a great man, and he knew, obviously, when you get a call like this, you do it. I mean, how many times has he been through an opponent trying to get something going just for this one fight alone to make it on BKFC 11? The man's been through an absolute trial of epic proportions, and I couldn't be happier with how lucky I am to know him and to be able to study that character. He's more than physically a big man. Mm-hmm. He's a good friend to have.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And it's good having friends like that in your corner. Now, a 2-part question here. First of all, you have been training with Chris pretty extensively since you have fought. You guys have become good friends. How has training with him benefited you here moving forward, leading up to this fight? And 2, that punch that he knocked you out with is very, very similar to the one that Jorgen caught you with as well. How has he been able to help, I guess, tighten up that part of your game to make sure it's not going to happen a third time?
So you and I have talked before, and when I was real young, my dad started me off in boxing. And in my youthful arrogance, I diverted away from that path for years and years and years. And coming full circle after seeing the same thing happen twice, there's not going to be a third. And that was the way that Chris put it. And I had to absolutely adhere to looking at my own faults real hard and admitting to what they were and taking the steps to tighten that hole and make sure that I had answers when things started to go wrong. Because, like it or not, at the end of the day, it's a fight. I like to play with my chemistry set and I like to see what works here and there. But me and Rudy are going to go hit each other tomorrow and somebody's going to sleep. That's what the game is. With all the pageantry pulled aside, that's what's going to happen. So breaking everything back down to the KISS rule, keep it simple, stupid, and emphasis on the word stupid, because if you're trying to think too hard, you're outthinking yourself. And that's what I was deep in for a little while. So it was a humbling experience and a very developing experience, which is only going to continue as time moves forward. So he helped me in a few very critical ways that are going to continue to show developments, and now I get to show it off, and I'm going to keep on helping him. Now, unfortunately, I can't pay him back this time. I was fully intending to be in his corner, screaming, shouting, and being there for him, helping him get ready. I should be down there getting everything together right now. But the fact is, we know what this means, and it has to happen. So, we bump knuckles from across the states, and we'll party next week when we both get our due.
Yeah, no doubt. Now, I already know the answer to this question, but I got to ask it anyways. How has Chris looked so far in camp, and what do you expect from him in his fight Saturday night?
Have I mentioned how glad I am that we're never going to fight again?
Yeah.
Did I say more? The man is an absolute animal, and anybody who steps into that square circle with him and thinks that they're going to get anything other than that red right hand is an absolute fool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well said.
Respect to anybody who signs that contract, but that doesn't make it any less foolish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, obviously, I have a relationship with you outside of this MMA game. I saw you down at Nick Gully's, I guess you could say, camp down in Southern Maine fairly recently. So we had a chance to talk, but we haven't discussed this in a formal interview since before you fought Terrence. That was the last time I actually interviewed you, before you fought Terrence Jean-Jacques. Unfortunately, you did drop that fight, round 2 RNC. What did you learn from that loss?
Obviously, I wouldn't say that it was learning. It was continuing to find those nuances to the ground game that I need to continue to improve on. I have years and years in some form of striking art. There have been intermittent bits of grappling mixed in, but that's my primary focus, or has been for years. So it was actually, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Matt Hughes, who was cage side that night, who had said the difference there was between grappling for the last 4 years steady versus having an entire lifetime in wrestling. So I was in deep waters with a pedigreed wrestler. I didn't get the result I wanted, and that's that. It's unfortunate, but when you go swimming with sharks, you're going to get bit.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know we have talked about this outside of the interview realm here, but Tyler King, there's been a lot of, I guess, intrigue for a fight there. He's made it clear he wants to fight you. You've made it clear you want to fight him. You went on New England MMA and talked with Steve Domenico about that a little bit. Kind of bring all of us up to date on where that stands right now and what you hope happens here moving forward.
If he ever shows up or gets somebody to work with him again, obviously that's something that needs to be settled. I was raised by a man who was born in 1935. You point threats at the family, ... Fill in that blank however you want. That is not done and over with. I just need him to remove head from nether regions and put something together instead of spending all his time on social media talking trash. I'm done with that until he presents himself. But the same answer is going to come forward. That child is getting spanked whenever he presents himself for punishment. But if he's going to keep sitting there and talking, then I have no interest.
Mm-hmm. When that fight ultimately does happen, I think the New England fans hope it really does come to fruition here. But how does it end, Ras? I know you envision yourself getting your hand raised, but how does it end?
Knockout. Doesn't matter how, doesn't matter where, I'm going to put him to sleep.
Okay.
You don't threaten my wife, you don't threaten my kid. In days gone by, that ends as a death sentence. I'm not going to spend any more time on that because I've already explained exactly what happened, how it happened, and how I feel about it. Show up. I don't care if you shut up, but show up.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I appreciate you elaborating and saying where that stands right now. Now, you're down in Mohegan Sun. You're in Connecticut. You've made the trip down there. Did you drive by yourself, or did John go down there with you?
No, I've got John Raio and Chris McBean down with me. I was hoping to have a full 3-set, but unfortunately, I mean, it was 24 hours ago that this all came together. So we scrambled. We got everybody together that we could, and I'm down here with my coaches. So we all piled into John's car this morning and booked it down here and spent a long morning running around trying to familiarize ourselves with the venue and get where we need to go for, COVID testing. And now we're in quarantine waiting for the results. And sometime shortly we'll be able to get that little relief come through. And tomorrow it's weigh-ins. Good to go.
Are they in the same room with you right now, or are they in separate rooms?
No, we got all one connected room here. Hold on. Let me turn this thing around. There we go.
Okay.
Decent. I got Ryan Jarrell. See? Look. How you doing? I got Rayo here.
What's up, guys?
Chris McBean, Jiu-Jitsu coach extraordinaire.
Hello, sir.
You have brought this idiot into the world of jiu-jitsu, so I don't care what he says. This is the man to thank right here. This is why I haven't moved at all. Yeah, well, we're in here in this interconnected room. Like I said, quarantined for the moment, but yeah, we're good to go. Just got a little session done with him. There's my jiu-jitsu mats for the day, right here in the main room connecting. Got that done. Now it's just sit and wait. Go get one more little piece of paperwork filed away, and
so run us through what specifically happened when you got down there. You guys checked in. Did you have to go straight to, I guess, an area where Bellator was doing the testing? All three, you had to get the COVID test done and then straight to the room for quarantine?
That was literally the size of it. The only thing in between that was getting directions that were effective. I mean, it was this place is huge, as you know, to me. So it was a lot of back and forth while we got the room situation all in order, and now we're here.
So did you have the nose swab or the throat swab?
Nope, no swab. And this was not the back of the brain nose swab. It was just inside, circle around like a dozen times, and then drop it in the tube and go.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good, because the one that I've seen where they stick it up in your brain, it does not look fun in the least.
That one. Like a month and a half ago, we had a little scare at my house because of the job that I do at Home Depot, and I had to quarantine. I had to go over to one of the local urgent cares and get that thing all the way back in there. Fortunately, it was negative. I just had some sort of flu or whatever, but no, not pleasant. I will take what I just did down here every day. That's fine.
So you're waiting for the results right now. If it comes back negative and all you guys are cleared, is that the last test you have to take? And then you weigh in Thursday and the fights are Friday?
Good to go.
Okay, good enough. And so you guys, you're supposed to be, I guess, on YouTube. They're going to be streaming it on YouTube live, and then the main card will be on Paramount Network. I believe that starts at 10 p.m. East Coast time. Do you know roughly about what time frame you're scheduled to fight?
Somebody posted it earlier. I feel like it's 8:30, 8:45, maybe.
Okay.
I could be early. Maybe it's just like the initial interviews and chatter going on, and then it kicks off at 9. But it was 8 something than the one thing that I did glance at this morning when I made that quick little Snapchat video. Or no, sorry, Instagram video. I don't have Snapchat. Why do I say that? Anyway, yeah, 8:30 or 8:45, I believe, is when things kick off, and I'll be probably the first or second. I mean, it's my first time here. It's not like they're gonna move me up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt. Well, you're
So, basically, have my job interview Friday night and see what the employer thinks.
that's very exciting. I'm so happy for you that you're down there, and again making your Bellator debut. Are your nerves a little bit more heightened than usual? I mean, this has to be clearly the biggest fight of your life so far. What are your nerves and your excitement like?
I wouldn't say nerves any more than usual. It's just it's it's a fight. I obviously there's a lot of excitement because this is Bellator. This is my first televised fight. This is I get to be on the same card with Sergio Pettis. That is nuts. Okay, that is huge for me. I'm gonna be in the same venue. I get to watch the main card of Bellator, not from my living room, but from here. That's the excitement for me. Obviously, I'm really excited that I actually get to fight in the middle of all of this going on. Everybody's having, myself included, but still, everybody is out here having such a difficult time. And in the midst of all this, there's this little ray of sunshine that I get to have where I get to go fight. And it was looking like I was going to have to wait until the fall or maybe even the winter for something to happen. So to literally have this drop in my lap out of nowhere, again, Bill, if you're listening, thank you. I really, really needed this. So, win, lose, or die, I'm going out. I'm going to be me, and it's going to be a good time.
Well, let's talk about this matchup with Rudy. He started off his pro career at 6-0. He lost his last fight, so he's 6-1 now. But he lost to a guy that's an absolute stud. Tyrell Fortune choked him out in the second round, RNC. But Raz, all 6 of his wins are by way of round 1 finish. When you look at this guy, I mean, I'm sure John is studying tape and preparing you for this fight. Where do you feel like he's most dangerous?
He represents one of those dangerous mixes of brawler and wrestler. I mean, he's pedigreed just like Fortune. Fortune, I think, just had a cleaner stand-up and foot movement. So he's dangerous. He's tough. Rudy's definitely got a solid jaw. He's been in there with some bangers. He has no problem hanging out in the pocket. And yeah, it's going to be a tough one. It gets to round 2. I like my odds. Round 1, obviously, it's going to be a firefight, and that's definitely where I like to be. But that goes both ways. So let's see if I can box a brawler. You know.
Mm-hmm. Is this a fight where you want to try and utilize your unbelievably long reach here? You know, maybe pepper him with your jab and kicks and keep it at distance.
I'd like to stay away from those hugs. Obviously, my last time out with a wrestler didn't go great, so I'm not really looking to roll around on the ground. But I'm not exactly nervous about that either. Like I said, a lot of the stuff that I've been doing lately has been incorporating and combining skills rather than just focusing on one particular technique. So as I continue to develop, we'll see more of that hybridization of the skill sets. But for right now, yeah, the way it initiates is going to be trying to just establish that range and keep it. We'll see what happens after that.
But you do feel like if this fight does end up on the ground, that you're better versed on the ground now versus when you fought Terrence last.
Absolutely. And I don't mean to speak ill of my opponent. He's a tough guy and he's pedigreed as well. I just feel like Terrence is a faster wrestler on the ground, and what am I looking for? His sensitivity to what's happening and what's about to happen, I believe, was better tuned for me, or rather against me. Rudy got thrown a curveball. Obviously, he's a professional and a very tough one at that. So he's going to make the adjustment. He's going to want to wrestle and he's going to want to bang because he knows that I can definitely go to sleep as well. So, yeah, it's going to be a good one. I think it's a good matchup for both of us.
So how do you see this fight ultimately finishing?
You just said it. Finish, period. I'm seeing some heavy hands definitely making this end in round one. The question is whether or not I can cut the angle or he knocks my block off.
But you did say, you know, after that second KO to Sarro, you had Jorgen first and Sarro, that's not going to happen a third time. So I don't think that you're thinking that he's going to be able to get the job done and close the show against you. So you're picking yourself via round one knockout, I'm assuming, right?
Did I say that? I don't remember putting those words in that order.
Well, I'm just adding it all up together, you know, just based on what you said previously.
Damn. Did I ever mention how much I hate math? Good job.
Well, that was never my strong suit either, so maybe I misfollowed you there, but I thought I was on the right track.
No, you're right. I think this is going to be the first time where I do actually make my own prediction. And yeah, either round one or round two, it's going to be a KO. It's all a question of whether or not he makes the adjustment and makes me go into deep water. I respect the power. I respect the skills that I've seen over the last couple of years. He's definitely made some marked improvements, and I'm just hoping that I can catch and capitalize on a couple of those weaknesses before he closes up those holes. So we'll see what the last few months have done for him and what they've done for me.
Nice. Well, I can speak for everyone here in New England, all of us MMA fans. We can't wait to watch. Obviously, tune in on YouTube Friday night to watch the prelims, and the main card will be on Paramount Network. Ras, always a pleasure, my friend. I cannot wait to see you get in and make your Bellator debut. Before I let you go, anyone you want to thank or any sponsors you have? I see the shirt. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Portland Nutrition Corner. They're from day one. Chuck and the guys have always treated me well and taken care of me. I've recently started working with Jacked and Jilled, which is just down the road from my house on Main Street, right before you turn on 295 in South Portland. Fantastic place, great personal training, and Brandon is the one who I've been working with, and he's really fine-tuned my appreciation for strength and conditioning in a way that's really relevant to me. And as you know, Ryan's own beef jerky is absolutely the best thing out there. And I dare anybody out there with a Sasquatch logo to put out anything that compares to that man's family recipe. Okay. 100% the best thing out there. Buy local. Everybody, please help out right here in your own neighborhood. Now, obviously, Connecticut's not mine, but we're still in New England. So please take care of each other, be kind to each other, and finally, on a personal note, martial arts is for everyone. The more experts we have out there, the less mistakes we have. And when those mistakes do happen, the quicker you're able to make a course correct. That's in physical technique and that's in life as well. Build, develop, level up. Learn new lessons.